Hey, 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 you beautiful twin flames, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. I'm guided to do an audio channeling today. In the past, when I've done audio channelings, I've had some comments saying, there's no picture. We can't see you. Where are you? Is there something wrong with my with my device? So I'm just telling you now that this is an audio channeling only, and I'm guided to do this sometimes because the energies are difficult for some divine feminines who are in separation from their twin flames at the moment. And I already think that with social media and TV and what's going on in the world, we have enough distraction. So there's already enough to be looking at and seeing. If you are spending a lot of time looking outside of yourself. So I guess that's my first point for the divine feminine who is in separation with their twin flame right now. And this could mean a separation, that you haven't heard from them because they blocked you, or a separation because they're with someone else or you're with someone else. So it doesn't matter what kind of separation that you're in right now. Separation is an awareness or a state of perception, okay? So what I want to teach you today is something I feel that it's quite profound, and I also want you to try and come up higher with me for a moment, okay? Because many of you feel like, especially right now, you feel like you're in a circumstance which feels impossible. You feel like you're in a circumstance which is unchangeable, and you feel like that perhaps you'll always be left waiting or longing or not knowing what's going to happen in the future. So as I'm talking to you now, I feel a lot of you have this hunger in your heart for your divine masculine. And this hunger is something that, feels like it's never going to be fulfilled, It's kind of like if you kept driving past that burger place and you can smell the burger, but you can't get your window down, when you go through the drive-through. And the hungrier and hungrier you become for it, the more chance there is of your window sticking more and more. So you just, you get to the drive-through and it's like you're constantly trying to wrap this window down, to the point where you're willing to even smash the window so you can get that takeaway food. Okay. Now take it how it resonates. As far as the burger place goes, this could be a really healthy burger place too. It doesn't have to be, full of chemicals and oils or whatever. Just take the burger place as, you're really hungry, you want a burger. It's either a healthy place or a junk food place. It's not really important. It's the metaphor that I want you to see here of that you are seeing it consciously in the future. You're driving down the highway, you see the burger place, that's your divine masculine, and you want it so bad that you put your foot down on the pedal, down on the gas a bit more, And then when you get there, the window becomes stuck. And the window becoming stuck is a metaphor for the blocks that you put in the way of your union. Many of you will say, many of you might email me and say, my divine masculine has blocked me, or my divine masculine is with someone else, or my divine masculine says he has no romantic feelings for me, or my divine masculine, was angry last time we spoke, or my divine masculine is pushing me away. So wherever that window is up in between you and your divine masculine, for whatever third dimensional reason that is unimportant. The fact of the matter is that there is still a block between you and your twin flame. Is it a locality difference? Is it that he's not interested in you romantically? Is it that he's with someone else and perhaps happily married? My throat chakra is going crazy because I'm trying to get you to understand that you're not speaking your truth. Divine Feminine, this is perhaps going to be a little trigger for you today. I want you to see that the blocks to the union are only because of you. I want you to understand that you are the creator of your own universe around you. I want you to understand that there's things inside of you that you're not speaking up about. You've still got things inside of you that you have ignored. Some of you have ignored them for many, many years. Some of you may have post-traumatic stress disorder from something that happened a long time ago. Some of you have got grief inside of you that goes so deep that it's difficult to find the end of. Some of you are so angry about your current situation that you give up, generally speaking, every day. Some of you have been so lonely and unhappy for so long that the only thing you have to look forward to is the fact that someone else might create that wholeness for you. I can feel the longing and the yearning in the collective of many of the divine feminines, and not all of them. This is only for some of you today. You need to be in a place of forgetting for a moment about your divine masculine and understanding that you are him anyway. Now, if you are him, just imagine for a moment that there was no, 3D version of him. Just imagine that you knew that you were him, without a doubt. Now, it is true that he has a mind and a body that seems to be over there somewhere. Okay, maybe he lives in California, maybe he lives in Guatemala, maybe he lives in Antarctica, maybe I don't know, at the moment he wouldn't be traveling the world, but you know what I mean. Maybe he's just down the street. It doesn't matter where his body resides. I want you to come higher. This connection is an energetic connection, a soul to soul connection, a third eye to third eye connection. And you need to be in a different state of consciousness to be able to attract it into you. We're talking about going to the burger place. Going to the burger place is a very 3D thing to do, isn't it? You get ready, you jump in your car, you turn on the ignition, and off you go. If you're trying to find your divine masculine in the 3D, and there's no interest from him in the 3D right now, then you are literally barking up the wrong tree, which is a saying in Australia: if you're barking up the wrong tree, you're not looking in the right place. You know, it's like trying to find pirate's treasure on an island as big as the world, and you've only been told that X marks the spot. You have no idea, you have no map to get there. Now, how your divine masculine shows up in the third dimensional reality is unimportant. And many of you are still in the 3D mindset, of, you know, he told me he loves someone else. He said he doesn't want to speak to me anymore. He's blocked me. He has spoken to me rudely. He's spoken to me angrily. He's disinterested. He won't answer my calls. He's ignoring my texts. You know, the texts have been read, but he never sends one back. So this today is the wake-up call for the divine feminines going through this scenario, that this connection is not attractable in the 3D unless you've already attracted your divine masculine to you energetically. Then you can have conversations in the 3D with your divine masculine. Now, if you're talking to him already in the 3D and he's not coming to you the way you want, then you've got some work to do. It's not over just because he says, I don't want to see you anymore, I don't want to speak to you anymore, I don't want to, you know, I'm busy, you know. Unless, of course, you want to give up on the twin flame journey, and that's, of course, fine. You know, you are within your right to do that. But for those of you who want to attract your masculine, and not just your masculine, but what about attracting money? What about attracting your house of your dreams, the life of your dreams, the job of your dreams, the everything of your dreams? Let's go back now to the window and understand that when you're in a 3D mindset consciousness about the divine masculine, when you are wondering and wishing and hoping and wallowing and wanting to know what's going on with them in the 3D, you are sending them chasing energy. And I've spoken about this many, many times before, and I've used the horse and the apple example, but I'll give you the burger example today. Let's move forward and do a burger example, okay, so you can understand this a bit better. I want you to imagine that you finally got out of your car and you decide to go into the burger place, and you are absolutely ravished, starving, hungry for this burger and fries perhaps, and a milkshake or a thick shake. And you see that there's a big line up in front of you. And by this point, you know, I don't know when your last meal was, but maybe it was a long time ago. And so you get the crazy eyes on and you're like, there is no way I'm waiting for those 20 other people to order their burgers and fries before I get mine. And so what you want to do is you want to create a shortcut between you and those other people. And those other people are the karmics in our little metaphorical example today. So you look in your handbag, take gender how it resonates. Maybe it's through your backpack if you're a guy, right? And you find a knife and some mace and a balaclava. I don't know why these things are in your handbag or in your backpack, but you think, right, this burger and fries are mine. I want it now. Right? Remember that girl from Willy Wonka? She goes crazy. She says, I want it now. I want it right now. And it's all about the goose. You know, I think it's the goose that lays the golden egg, and she's a very spoiled little child. But let's just say for a moment, you say, you know, bugger all of this. Let's get these karmics out of the way. Let's get this karmic stuff out of the way. Let's move all of this stuff out of the way. I'm coming in with my mace and my knife, and I've got my balaclava on. And so you push through all the people. You can imagine them darting out the way, freaking out a bit. You've got a balaclava on with a leopard print, so it's kind of weird. It's kind of fashionable and weird at the very same time. And you get to the counter and you say, I want a burger with everything. Tailor it to your needs. I don't know. If you don't want tomato or pickles, get rid of those. Extra ketchup. We call it tomato sauce here in Australia. And fries with no salt. Cooked to perfection. And a strawberry, a chocolate thick shake, whatever you want to have. And the woman at the counter is kind of freaking out, and you hand over the money. You're actually not robbing them. You just hand over the money because you want it so bad. You've already got the exact amount ready for the transaction. And off you go with your tray, and you get into your car, and you devour this burger and fries. And then you hear the sirens. Oh dear. Whoopsie, we're not supposed to have a balaclava on, or a knife, or a mace, and push past these people at the local burger joint, you know. So of course there's going to be a consequence here to the actions that you take in the 3D. So if you are sending, as a little metaphor here, if you're sending your DM text messages and emails and phone calls and all of this stuff, and they're not interested, they're not ready to be eaten by you, they're the burger and fries, right? Then there's going to be a consequence to the action. They're not ready for you yet. You know, your burger and fries were still in the oven, baking, getting ready for you. Wow, my throat chakra is going crazy today. Wow. when you finally come into union with your divine masculine, you don't want to be wearing a balaclava, holding a knife, and wielding mace. You want to be calm. You want to know that you're ready for your divine masculine. You don't want to be trying to pry down the window, acting all crazy, right? You don't want to be still wearing a mask, still not healed from things in your past, perhaps. You don't want to rush it. You know, getting to the end result is really beautiful. But the more you push, the more, wow, the more there will be consequences to this pushing in the 3D reality. You know, there's a reason why when we go somewhere, we line up and we wait. It's common courtesy. It's a kindness. It's because we have humility. It's because we have respect for other people. Now, your divine masculine is still processing you. You know, if you imagine him as the mince of the burger, he's still being manipulated by the divine. You know, God is still using his hands to create what needs to be ready inside of him. You know, he's adding a bit of, I don't know, rosemary and a touch of pepper and a sprinkling of something else. You want to come to your divine masculine in a whole way. We all want union quicker and quicker because there is so much inside of ourselves that we long for. But in the longing for the burger that's not ready for you yet, you will grab the wrong burger. Okay, if you're going to go to that burger place with the mask on, with the mace in your hands and with a knife, saying you must come to me, you must love me now, then that is going against the ways of love, the ways of the universe. I want to give the example of a beautiful tree in the middle of nowhere. There's this beautiful tree, and many drive past it, you know, on their travels and say, wow, how on earth is that tree there in this arid, desolate land? It seems strange, you know. Is there really enough warmth from the sun? Is there really enough rain in this place for this tree to have grown to such a huge extent? Now the tree has sat there and grown from a tiny little seedling, and in its quietness, the universe has brought it the sunshine and brought it the rain and the nutrients that it needs. So a lot can be said about standing still. A lot can be said about being powerful from that inner peace, from that stillness, from that understanding that you can't force anything. The divine feminine primarily wants to force the union because of the lack inside of herself. And this is a very difficult thing to say. She wants to be touched. She wants to be loved. She wants to be nurtured. She wants to feel as though she belongs to something else. And because she longs for it, because she wants it, because she feels that desperate need to have it, her energy pushes it away, and the universe leaves her wanting. Now, I understand many of you feel that you need intimacy, and that's something you can't give to yourself. I mean, you know, you can you can touch yourself in a beautiful way, you know, when you bathe, or when you have a moment to yourself. Take it how it resonates for you. You know, you can self-pleasure. You can, you know, take extra time in the shower and, you know, massage your shampoo in for longer or something like that. You know, you can give yourself this nurturing. But many times the divine feminine wants the nurturing of her counterpart so that she feels whole. And this is also like trying to go to that burger place and do the transaction there where you want something else to fill you up. You know, in the burger example, it's the burger and the fries and the milkshake or the thick shake, you know. But you want to come into this union with balance and poise and understanding that your divine masculine deserves to have you whole, and you deserve to have him whole, so that when you come together, you know, it's going to be a feast. Because if you come together and you're both not ready, then it's going to be a codependency, an addiction. So you think of all the people who are addicted to drugs or alcohol or pornography or gambling. They do it to feel a part of themselves that's lacking. So why can't you have your union now? Because there is still a part of you that's lacking? No. There is no part of you that's lacking. You may perceive that there's parts of you that are lacking, but you have been created in the perfect image. Even through all of your imperfections, you are perfect. It's all about consciousness and understanding that you need to be okay with you. You are not your mind or your body. You are your soul. Some people also call the soul the heart space. So from this video forward, if you've been watching me for a while, I want you to understand that you are already your twin flame. If you are in 3D consciousness, you will see them as being over there. They live in Guatemala and I live in wherever you live. or they are with another person and I am over here, or they are too busy for me and I'm over here, or they are too angry with me and I'm over here. From this day forward, every time you have an inner thought that you are separate, I want you to mentally slap yourself and then remind yourself that you are one. They are you. What turmoil you're going through has also at one point in time been the same turmoil for them, maybe showing up in a slightly different way. They too are longing for that burger, and perhaps they found it in someone else. Perhaps they found it in a work addiction. Perhaps they found it in a drug addiction. Perhaps they found it in a codependency with someone, a toxic relationship with their mother or father or cousin or brothers, sisters, aunties, friend. So the same thing is showing in them when they are with a karmic that they're not in love with. The same thing is showing in them when they have an addiction they can't get rid of. The same thing is showing up in them when they overwork themselves. The same thing is showing up in them when they're overbalancing, constantly needing to course correct their life. Okay, so what you do is so important. And this is not about the 3D connection until you're ready to come into the 3D connection. There are definitive stages of twin flame union. If they're not showing up in the 3D how you want them to show up, that's fixable. If they're not showing up at all in the 3D, that's also fixable. But it's all about what you are perceiving. And it's all about your energy. And so for those of you having difficulty, I invite you to email me at your earliest convenience. I invite you to understand how to attract them energetically. Because if they're showing up in the 3D, even if they're messaging you in some weird kind of way, like, I'm dating other people, you know, you're crazy, baby. I don't know, what are they saying to you? They're saying all sorts of things to you. Wow. And many of you are feeling blocked by this, devastated by this, hurt by this, saddened by this. Name the emotion that you're feeling right now. You must have clicked onto this video because you're feeling some kind of way. You haven't imagined your twin flame journey. You haven't imagined. It feels like sometimes, you know, that's what it feels like for the divine feminine. Like, have I imagined all this? Am I going crazy? You're not going crazy. You just don't know how to attract them energetically. And if we don't deal with you, and of course remember you are them, then you're going to be wanting, you're going to be longing, You're going to be trying to pull that window down, forcing it down to get that burger that's not ready for you. Maybe you're going to be crazy and send them a text in the middle of the night and say, I'm in love with you, you asshole. Where have you been? How dare you not come to me? You know? It sounds extreme, but it can get that extreme on the twin flame journey. You love them so much. You'd be willing to move. You'd be willing to drop your life. You'd be willing to change your job. You'd be willing to, I don't know, like an epic movie, you'd be willing to go through the snow and up the mountain and paddle through the wetlands and go through that swamp and, go on a journey like never before just to have a moment with them. That's how much you love them. Willing to put that crazy ski mask or balaclava on at the burger place with the knife. I don't know, maybe you've got a shotgun too, and you're willing, you're willing to do anything it takes. But you don't need to. That's what I'm telling you. You don't need to get all cray-cray in the 3D. You don't need to inundate them with messages. You don't need to try and constantly call them. You don't need to bombard yourself with the overthinking and have those dark nights of the soul anymore. You don't need to have sleepless nights and worry anymore. So if you need me, please reach out to me. My Gmail account is in the description box below. I've made a system for twin flames. You can pay in installments. And you can finally start coming into union, first and foremost with yourself, and then into union with your twin flame, if that's your goal. But if we don't work on you, and you are them, then basically you're chasing rainbows. And when you chase rainbows, you know how difficult that is. You never get to the end of that rainbow. You never really do see if there's a pot of gold down in that crevice where you thought, if I just drove for 2 more miles, maybe I could meet the end of the rainbow. That's the illusion. The last thing I want to say now, I know I've been talking for over 30 minutes, so if you're still with me, thank you for listening. I don't want you chasing rainbows. I don't want you chasing unicorns. I know I always say things like that on my channel, like sending rainbows and unicorns and all of that stuff. But the fact of the matter is that this is a real thing. This is a real phenomenon that you are experiencing. And if you don't have the right tools to come into union with your twin flame, then you want to give up. And not just giving up on your twin flame, but giving up on yourself. And when you give up on yourself, guess who else you give up on? Your twin flame. So I want you to know that no matter what they've done in the 3D reality, it does not matter. Even if they just got married, even if they've got 800 children, okay, even if they've adopted 5 pet monkeys and a llama, even if they yelled and screamed at you or blocked you, this union can happen for you. There is no circumstance that cannot be overcome. And I'm here supporting you today. Many of you know me to muck around and sing and carry on like a pork chop, which is an Australian saying. When you carry on like a pork chop, you're being extremely silly. And of course, I do that because I want you to laugh. I want you to find your joy. I want you to understand that you're allowed to be happy. But I take this coaching very seriously. I take my readings very seriously. I take your journeys very seriously. And so when I do these channelings as well, I want you to know that I am on your team. I am a psychic medium. I've helped many famous people come into union with twin flames as well. Many of you don't know that. Okay. So I'm not really one of those kind of people that wants to say, you know, I've helped 50,000 twin flames come into union. You know what I mean? Because then that would be a little bit egotistical. And so this journey is all about the heart space. It's all about the soul. And I want you to know that you can have this too. You know, you don't have to be famous. You don't have to have $10 million in your bank account. But if you don't have the tools to come into union with your twin flame, then the cycles are going to continue. Your twin flame is going to keep blocking you, keep being angry with you, keep, you know, I don't know, maybe come in and out. There'll be this wishy-washy energy all of the time, and you're going to feel like, you know, burning the burger place down, you know. But I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to get into a place of giving up. Because I want you to know that it's possible. Okay, so I have the tools to help you. If you so want to get in contact with me, I would love that. I do personal readings as well for people who aren't twin flames. So if you've stumbled across this one video and you're going, I don't know what she's talking about, this sounds batshit crazy, you can get a general reading with me if you want to. Alright, so just know if you don't know what you need from me, you can just email me and we can talk about what I think you need and work it out together. Okay, but you are supported on this journey. You are loved on this journey, and you are not alone. There are literally so many others going through what you're going through right now. And the one thing I really must tell you is that you are not alone. There's actually a beautiful song called You Are Not Alone. Okay, so you can look that up as well. The words are, you know, even just the lyrics are so beautiful to that song. So I love you so much. I'm so delighted that you choose to be here with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, you know, tap the bell for notifications so when I do post a video, you get the notification coming to you that I've posted. Also check out my twin flame concept videos. There's a playlist there which can really help you. And although I want to be fun too, I also like you to see that I'm serious about this journey, and I'm serious about helping you if you need help. Okay, don't be frightened to contact me. All of your information is completely private. Anything you send to me is completely private between you and me. And, you know, let me tell you, there are a lot of people who come to me with very dark secrets, very, you know, shocking events that have happened to them. You know, there is nothing that you can't tell me in privacy. Okay, so, you know, even if your twin flame is a polygamist and married to 15 other women or men, take gender how it resonates, it doesn't matter. You can tell me anything. You can tell me that, I don't know, you're married and adopted a squirrel. It really doesn't matter. You can tell me anything, and I promise you I won't even be surprised. So if you want to reach out to me, if you feel guided to reach out to me, please do that. I now also offer one-on-one coaching as my last sentence, I promise. So I now do offer one-on-one coaching by the hour if you want to actually talk to me on an audio call. But all of my services are down below in the description box. And I'm wishing you all a beautiful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. I'm going to put this in the Twin Flame Concepts playlist. So if you want to come back to this at any time, you can be reminded of that burger place. All right. Sending you love from Australia, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.